Hey, welcome to the Known Zone podcast. I'm your host, Wilfred Padua. And this is Jeff. You guys know that guy.
I'm back.
Yeah. And we've got really cool. This is actually the first time I've ever started the podcast right.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I'm like getting into it.
See?
Right away.
You're getting your feet.
Yeah, wrong time to do it. The Known Zone's a history podcast where comedians talk about history, and we've got a cool ass guest, Louis Katz.
Hey.
If you're watching this on YouTube, press pause right now, because who cares about the rest of this? This is gonna be bullshit. And then click over to Louis Katz's special. What's it called again?
It's called Present Tense.
Present Tense. Yeah. It's funny.
Thank you. Thank you. You sound surprised.
Yeah.
You did
It
an
is.
inflection.
It's
funny.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. Thought it would suck.
I've pressed play like probably 6 times.
Oh, thank you. Like because you couldn't get through it because it was that bad, or because?
Because usually I'll turn it on at like 12:30 at night, and then fall asleep.
Yeah.
I know.
So if you really want some white noise, Louis your man. Also, I've heard of this thing called pink noise.
I've heard of that, but I don't know what the difference is.
I don't know. It's like a different frequency.
Yeah.
Which
Pink noise?
Yeah. My girlfriend's putting pink noise in her ears when she goes to sleep.
What's it do?
There might be gray noise and black noise. There might be all kinds of noise, I think. But it's just a different
Brown
frequency.
noise?
Yes, brown noise. There is brown noise, actually.
Oh, that's a real thing?
Yes, I think so.
I was just getting. I was trying to lean into a bit, but that's okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I know what your bread and butter is.
Is that the one that makes you poop?
Oh, I thought it was going to be like loud Puerto Rican music.
That's a legal noise.
Yeah. How's everything going, man?
Good. Just it's a great but hectic year. I've been promoting the special, and I also just got back from my honeymoon in Japan, so it's all
Oh, you
it's all
honeymooned
crazy.
in Japan?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you just got back. That's
yeah,
right.
like just a couple days ago. Yeah.
How was it?
It was incredible. It was really great. I've been there a couple times, but mostly doing like USO stuff.
Uh-huh.
Didn't spend a lot of time there, and it was wonderful, man. It's like, man, the Japanese, that's the superior race. They're just the best.
Well, I don't really agree historically, but that's
historically things happen. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying things happen. But now they've learned their lesson, and they're
you know
nice.
what? I will say, like, the Japanese learned their lesson. So did the Germans.
Which gets us to the topic today, I think.
Yes.
I mean, sorry
yes,
to
yes.
interrupt, but I'm saying, like, there's a reason why they're so great, and it could be.
I think you just have to fail at the highest level.
Ha.
Yeah.
And
It
then
humbles you.
And then you're like, oh, I guess we won't do atrocities anymore.
You come back stronger and better.
Yeah.
All right, things are looking up for Israel. That sounds great.
Yeah, you give
30 years.
Israel 20 years.
It's great over there. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, topic today, we're talking about the Marshall Plan, which I've never heard of prior to Louis giving me a text. By the way, thank you. You're the first comedian to
Respond?
to ever respond to me. No, everyone else is like, how'd you get my number? No, but you're the first one to like actually have a topic at hand.
I had like 5 times. I gave you so many options.
Yeah.
Oh, you picked this one.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was among I had a whole bunch of them. I love history. It's actually I'm not read all the history and do all that stuff, but
Sure.
it's the one kind of nonfiction that I can actually get down with because it's stories. It's still stories, so it's really interesting to me.
Yeah, and like if you get in, the thing with history is like at first it's like, God, this is boring as shit. Every topic I've felt that I was like, this is really boring and awful. Why am I going to talk about this for an hour? And then you get a little bit more info. I'm like, whoa, this has something to do like the topic today, the Marshall Plan, like led to the Cold War. And that's very interesting to me.
Yeah?
Once you get to that level of info.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. I thought of it as pretty much a positive thing. I never thought that.
You got suckered in by that American media, huh?
Yeah,
It's the schools, just the schools.
I didn't even know about the Marshall Plan prior to this.
Well, that makes me feel better because my wife didn't know about it. I'm like, man, you gotta go back to school. This is
Oh, you
embarrassing.
thought you married a dumbass?
Yeah, but no, it's just. I mean, if you're equally as dumb as her, I'll take it.
Yeah, I got nothing.
All right, maybe just
I'm
me.
the one person here not knowing anything about it.
Yeah.
We put money into Europe, right?
Yeah. I gave you like a brief synopsis last night.
Yeah. They threw some money into Europe to rebuild.
Yeah.
And then
There you go. You know all about
it
it.
was run by somebody named Marshall, I assume.
George.
Yeah. And then you open these discount stores, and that's history.
Yeah. Are those still around?
What?
Are those still around?
Marshalls?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a joke that I just posted, and I reference Sports Authority, and it went viral because there's arguments about whether or not Sports Authority still exists.
No way. That's crazy.
It's like 20 comments of, wait, this doesn't exist anymore, and then someone's like, I live 10 minutes from one.
Oh, it's like that
Mandela effect.
Yeah, Mandela effect. It's like, does
There
it
never
exist?
was. Yeah. It's Authority Sports.
That's funny.
Yeah, there's
everyone's
still Marshalls.
well, everyone's saying Sports Authority is Dick's Sporting Goods, and they're like, you should have said Dick's Sporting. It's a sex joke, and I'm like, no, because that ruins the joke.
Also, I think
on the
Dick's
nose.
is not on the West Coast at all.
Dick's isn't?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
When the vagina's over there, huh?
It's all
Yeah.
vagina. It's all vagina sports.
Vagina Sports Authority.
Pussy sports would not sell. No one would go to pussy sports. It's just badminton and fencing. I don't know.
I'd get into it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't need a blue chew over there.
There you go. Best Marshalls. We'll say this: Las Vegas.
Great Marshalls.
Oh, great Marshalls.
Really?
All those high-end stores in Vegas gets dumped into that Marshalls.
Wow, that's good to know.
Yeah, so you go there.
Oh.
Every time I'd go to Vegas to like do any kind of work or something, I go to that Marshalls.
I got a new Marshall plan.
Yeah.
Next time I go to Vegas.
My Marshall plan. I got recognized. I was there like a month earlier. Great Marshalls.
Yeah, you thought it was because of your comedy.
No, they're like, were you here?
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I was working here a month ago.
Okay, Marshall Plan.
Yeah,
So
teach me.
it's named after George Marshall. We'll get to why it was named after him too. But it was put together under Truman. Came into play 1948 to provide foreign aid to Europe. It ended in 1951, but then it turned into a different thing that lasted till 61. So background is that World War II had just happened. Everyone was dead.
Oh yeah. I just watched Saving Private Ryan last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that 2 or 1?
2. World War II.
World War II? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Saving Private Ryan 2. I don't think there was a sequel to that.
There's a sequel.
I think it was just one of them.
Yeah.
They saved him, and then that was that.
Ryan returns.
Why does it keep getting taken?
Yeah, I watched it last night. Chelsea wanted a bedtime movie.
That's your bedtime?
I forgot how intense the beginning
It's
is.
an awful start.
Even she was like, "This is the bedtime movie you chose."
Usually I put on stand-up to go to sleep too.
I've heard a lot of people do that.
Just because you don't have to watch it.
Oh,
It
that's
doesn't make me feel like I have to open my eyes at all. I can just
You don't
close
start
my
thinking
eyes.
about the jokes and getting angry at the person.
No.
right,
I'm
yeah,
just
I
like,
think I'm on your
That
side.
would happen to me.
I get lulled to sleep by the rhythm usually because it's like such an obvious cadence. So,
I get it. That makes sense.
Oh, okay.
So you're just like da 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 da, comedy or whatever.
Yeah, I do nature.
Huh?
I do nature. Any nature story.
I could do this, yeah.
The thing when I started watching, I think it's called Life on Our Planet. Have I talked to you about it?
great.
It's with Morgan Freeman. It's awesome.
Yeah?
It goes through like the entire history of the world from like
Cool.
from the very beginning of life with like a small amoeba and then how that turns into evolves and all of like the mass extinctions.
Cool.
And I try to fall asleep to that very soothing tone, but I'm like, I need to see what this thing looks like.
Oh, you too.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm old-fashioned with sleeping. I like silence. I'm a big silence guy.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I sleep to.
Oh yeah.
Dead silence?
Quiet, yeah.
That's some
what I'm-
Wow.
old conservative ways.
Yeah, it is. No white noise or nothing?
No, I just wanted to go to bed. I had to go to bed.
God.
I mean, granted, it's not very quiet in my neighborhood ever due to living in Brooklyn, but
Yeah.
yeah, I just like I don't fall asleep to stuff.
Not a single, no noise. Just
No.
listen to the blood in your ears.
Yes, yeah. My wife likes I mean, on a plane, I put stuff in because it's like earplugs can't block out the noise of a plane
Sure.
as much as headphones can. But my wife she watches TV to sleep, and I can't. I gotta. It's like it's light. I need it to be dark and quiet.
Yeah.
Dark and quiet, old school sleep style.
I've got like a crazy setup where like I put books in like little places on the window to cover up the little gaps of light.
I'm all about the darkness, and I asked to be like totally dark for me to sleep.
Yeah.
And it wakes also because I assume, well, maybe, I don't know. I tend to sleep in past dawn. I'm one of those past dawn sleepers, and I need it to be like any little light comes in, it wakes me up. So like I use the trick, the road trick with that about getting the drapes to close.
You put your suitcase?
No.
Against
take
the
a hanger with the clips for the pants, and you use that to clip the drapes closed. Sorry. That way.
You're saying in the middle?
Yeah. So the drapes never line up. You take those clips, you pinch them together. Perfectly dark.
But there's also
genius.
Yeah.
There's also a little bit of light that escapes in the corners on the edge.
Yes.
And then I put my suitcase or my shoes
that works there
over
too.
there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. A good one. I was just at a hotel that had the window ledge was wider than the window. Like there was wall that came out around it. I was like, this is genius. Like this is great. I've never seen that before.
Huh.
Sorry, this is like we're changing what the podcast is.
Yeah, who cares about the Marshall Plan?
Marshall Plan.
So the idea of the Marshall Plan was that the U.S. would provide billions in aid, billions of dollars back then, which means even more billions now.
Yeah,
you really did the work.
I'll get to what the numbers were, and it would modernize industry, increase trade, and help rebuild Europe. It also have someone to purchase goods from the U.S.
Sure.
It's
not just altruistic, of course.
Yeah.
Then the baby boomers thrived.
And also simultaneously, it helped stop the spread of communism. Because I still don't quite understand how the USSR was so powerful after World War II.
They won. They were on the winning side.
Yeah, but 25. So there's like 60 million deaths.
Yes.
25 million of that were people from the USSR.
That's how many fucking people there are there.
Yeah.
That's the strategy is they throw bodies at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they Zerg rush.
Yeah.
They're what?
They Zerg rush.
What's that?
It's a video game term.
Wow, I thought it was like, you do know a lot about history.
I thought so too. I thought it was like a Russian type of war tactic.
It's a type of alien species in a video game.
Wow.
They outnumber. All right.
Actually, now I'm starting to think: is this why Jeff's really into like war tactics and war generals?
Oh yeah, I love Hannibal.
But is this because you just study these people for video games?
Well, I think Age of Empires was like. Remember that video game, Age of Empires, Empires 2? Yeah, peak age, and then everybody had their own little military tactics.
Do you remember did you ever have those like cheat codes where you can get like a car with a laser?
Oh, baby, did I. Oh, yeah. Shooting missiles, Yeah, that was fun.
There's a Hannibal movie coming out.
Really?
Yeah. They were talking about it, yeah.
Denzel.
Denzel?
About time, I say.
Yeah.
I've been
it's
waiting
crazy
for
there
one.
hasn't been a movie yet.
Isn't that crazy?
I don't know how I feel about that.
What do you mean?
Denzel playing Hannibal. I don't know I don't know Hannibal's personality at all, but it just doesn't seem like that's in Denzel's realm.
It's a tough black guy. I mean, what do you want? What do you want? Like strong black leader. That's Denzel. Like what else? You know?
I think he'd be a good Hannibal.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I always wondered because they would make like the one that come out Cleopatra, but she's a black woman, and I was always like, there's black people they could make movies about, and Hannibal never got one.
Well, Cleopatra's actually Greek, but Hannibal is, I think, is black.
Yeah, he's black.
Yeah. Hannibal straight up is.
Yeah, he's North African.
Yeah.
Not to start a drama, but technically Cleopatra, I've heard it was Greek.
I feel like they should have like Tom Cruise play Hannibal.
the last Carthaginian.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So let's go over a little bit about George P. Marshall.
Yeah, teach me.
What's the P stand for?
Phil.
Actually, see, you don't even know. It's penis. It's George Penis Marshall. That's why he had to abbreviate it, because people would laugh. And,
Too many. He was a very serious man. He was a very serious man. Like, there's actually this story where Truman called him by his first name. He said, "What do you think about that, George?" And he like shivered. He got like he got angry, and then
Only my wife calls me George.
But Truman was like, "Okay, I'm never doing that again."
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So he was General Marshal after that.
Okay. So he's a military guy.
He was initially a military guy, and then became like Secretary of State and Secretary of Defense.
Wow.
The guy that he took over for, his name was James Burns, and James Burns was, I think, Secretary of State for 18 months, and his biggest contribution in the world was dropping the atomic bombs, and then pretty much the day after, he was like, I think I'm gonna quit.
Wow. It got to him, huh? Like morally, you think?
I don't know if morally or if him and Truman were like did not like each other.
Oh, well, that's probably.
So I think there was that as well.
So wait, he decided to drop the bombs?
He was pretty much behind it.
Oh,
I heard the story that Truman didn't even know until the bombs were like on their way.
Oh, really?
Way. Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's how I'd do it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Wake me up after it's done. Don't tell me about it."
Yeah.
But I'm sure he was like with the planning, all that stuff. What's with the second one? Why do they need to drop a second one? Sorry, that's a different podcast. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
The second one? Well, I think it was to show that they could do it multiple times.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what
So rule of twos.
Yeah, it was like a one, so then be like, "Oh,
there's actually going to be a third for a punchline.
Yeah.
The whole world was like, one more, I'd be laughing.
So George Marshall was a big military dude. Fought in the Philippine-American War. Which was in 19. Yeah.
Oh.
Not thrilled about that.
Oh, Wilfred.
Yeah. Real conflicted right now. Fought in the Philippine-American War. Fought in World War I and II.
Wow.
And in World War II, he was the brigadier general of
What's that mean?
The
head brigadier.
The biggest general.
Okay.
He was like the top notch. I think there was. I'm gonna say something that I think I have is probably wrong, but if there's like only, I think brigadier general is the highest level.
Okay.
And there's only been like 3 throughout the entire U.S. history.
They live that long or what?
No, they just like people don't make it to that level.
Hey, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think so.
This is not.
Give me a second. I gotta blow my nose.
Yeah,
and think
yeah.
about
Okay,
this.
blow your
Man, Autumn, look that up.
Oh, I would love a fresh. Oh, what the fuck? You just have these?
Yeah,
There's a box over there, and I put it nearer to us.
Oh.
He's blowing his nose.
I'm on the last legs of a cold.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Everyone keeps saying that to me, and I'm like, you're just trying to make me not feel paranoid about catching
Absolutely.
whatever this
yeah,
is.
This is. I have a fever right now.
I'm just catching one. I'm starting off. I always thought there was a few brigadier generals, and then like there was only like 4 or 5 of them hanging out. I wish Autumn was here to look that up.
I know,
Oh,
me too.
I'm dying. Oh, Autumn, we need you.
Yeah. Jeez.
All right, this is an
I've
Autumn.
never heard of this. To me, it sounds made up.
Anyways,
I don't believe
so
it.
another thing about Marshall is that he came under a lot of heat because of Pearl Harbor, because he was in charge of the army, and so he was. They said that he didn't send the mess. We had intercepted some messages from Japan, and they're like he didn't send that intel fast enough to Hawaii. He's also they also said he didn't prepare the Hawaiian troops enough for such an attack, and he had told Truman to put a bunch of troops in the Atlantic Ocean because we needed to like figure out how to protect this neutral territory. So,
Well, there's also the rumor that they kind of let Pearl Harbor happen.
Oh, really?
oh really?
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh, tell me more.
Well, there's this big isolationist movement that they didn't want. A lot of people didn't want America involved in this foreign war, and Some people think they knew Pearl Harbor was going to happen. If if we get attacked, that justifies war, as we've seen throughout history. That it justifies a war, is there has to be some kind of attack. So they kind of knew it was coming, kind of let it happen. I don't know if that's specifically with Marshall or not. I don't even know if what I'm saying is true, but I've definitely heard that theory that it was like
interesting.
People knew it was coming, and they kind of was like,
what?
I love a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. I don't think this is even that much of a conspiracy theory.
I think it is now.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think it might be somewhat factish, is what I'm saying.
Well,
What?
here's another thing
Pearl
that I know.
Harbor was an inside job.
Not they didn't want it to happen.
He is the CIA, huh?
George Bush did Pearl Harbor.
Another thing that's interesting about Pearl Harbor was that the same exact day, Japan bombed the Philippines and Guam
Wow.
at a much higher rate. And the idea behind...
Why?
So, because the idea was that Japan wanted to take the Philippines and use that as a naval base. And so they bombed Pearl Harbor because that was the closest, if they had just bombed the Philippines, all of the Navy from Hawaii would come and protect the Philippines and Guam, which were both U.S. territories.
They were already U.S. territories at that point.
Yes.
Okay.
And so they bombed all of this at the same time
Wow.
so that they could have a higher impact on the Philippines and Guam.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Man.
Yeah.
So they wanted the Philippines.
Everyone wants us, baby.
You are a good get.
I'm a big get.
As an American, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
I love my Filipinos.
I think we might be the most well-liked Asian in America.
You think?
I think so.
The most well-liked.
Over Korean? Korean's killing it right now.
Yeah, but
South Korea is.
Yeah.
And I'm not that I'm saying anything against Korean Americans, but I just think there's maybe Filipinos. I think due to I think when you mix nursing and breakdancing, you can't. I mean, those are two. Who doesn't like both those things? You know what I mean?
That's all that we do. I made it out of the hood.
It's crazy you're not doing one of those things. But I think though, food wise, gonna be lower down. It's probably fourth, maybe fifth.
Yeah.
Most popular food in Asian
absolutely.
food in America.
It's low in the
and I think food is the great diplomacy in America. It's like, oh, you like this food? You're like, I got to give these people a chance.
I agree.
And the Filipino
That's
food
honestly
is like rough.
why Jews keep having a rough time.
Oh, because the Jewish deli is dope and everyone loves it.
No,
Yeah.
okay. I was gonna say it knish is boring as shit.
You just haven't had the right knish.
I guess so.
Wait, what's knish?
It's a potato pastry. It's like mashed potatoes in a pastry.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. It's just carbs and carbs.
Yeah, that's right.
Give me a Korean corn dog and a McDonald's Big Mac, baby.
I've been to maybe two good. Every Filipino restaurant, even you ask a Filipino person what's a good Filipino restaurant, they're like, my mom's house. Like it's like you can't get it at a restaurant for some reason. I don't know why.
It's because there aren't any.
Yeah.
Like the issue with Filipino cuisine, especially in New York, is they tried to make it all hip. And it took away, you lost all of the soul in the food.
That is a weird thing in New York. Like also with I love Thai food, and every Thai restaurant in Manhattan is like a nightclub for no reason. It should be a dirty mini mall. That's what I know from Los Angeles. That's where Thai food should be served, not with blaring neon lights and house music. It's just unnecessary.
That's how I feel about like Flushing has the best Chinese food.
Yeah.
And you can tell because it's kind of gross.
Yeah, it's
when
grimy. You
there.
want a C rating.
Yeah.
You want it to be. You want to feel like you're risking your life.
Yeah, I went to what was that one place, Mission Chinese, that was really big and
but that's that's from San Francisco, and B, it's kind of It's the point is that it's Americanized.
yeah,
you know?
but I didn't care.
Okay, and it was good.
No, it was too expensive for what it was.
Yeah, it's crazy what they charge for some Chinese.
Yeah.
food.
Yeah, they Americanize it. They up the price on you.
Yeah.
Well, it's just Brooklyn is Williamsburg specifically is just
brutal.
the price on things for the quality is
Oh yeah,
ridiculous.
It's wild.
You got Jollibees.
We do, but yeah,
I mean,
that's probably the worst representation of our food, though.
Yeah.
because the main thing is that they keep on focusing on is the sweet spaghetti,
yes,
and I'm like, that's not.
it's gross.
That's not. It doesn't look. It's not bad, but it doesn't
sound good.
Sound
Yes.
appealing.
Sweet
Yeah.
spaghetti? What is that?
It's spaghetti, but there's instead of just like there's a little bit of sugar in it.
Let's get some.
There's a Jollibee right around the corner.
All right, let's get some sweet spaghetti.
Well, it is weird how it's just you think of spaghetti and you're like, why would that ever be sweet? This is crazy. And then like pad thai, sweet spaghetti. I mean, basically, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah, yeah.
as long as when
Yeah.
you call it spaghetti, when you have that Italian, it should be savory and there shouldn't be any sweet involved. You know?
That's the thing, yeah, bad branding.
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
branding.
Just noodles, sweet noodles.
It does sound hillbilly.
Yeah, yeah.
You got sweet spaghetti?
Yeah.
We also,
Totally.
I mean, it is hillbilly because we also put hot dogs in it.
You put hot
Yes.
dogs
Yeah.
in it?
Alex Cole used to have a whole bit about this, about hot dogs, how seeing the ad in Jollibee's and how horrific it was to see someone adding hot dogs to spaghetti.
Yeah, you guys are wild.
So another thing about George Marshall is he was like a bipartisan hero. So he was like very well celebrated because of his background in the military. But and then he, became Secretary of State and everything. So the Marshall Plan was named after him. It was called the European Recovery something.
Act.
I think it started with whatever.
guess.
It doesn't matter.
That's a good answer.
If this is a history podcast, who cares? But they people didn't like Truman. I didn't realize that he was such an ass, and no one liked him.
Yeah.
And so if they called it the Truman Plan, it'd be kind of like Obamacare, where everyone was like, "Oh, this is just like a Democrat plan or whatever the fuck Truman was."
Oh, that's so smart to call it a Marshall Plan.
So yeah, Marshall, he was so bipartisan that he didn't vote,
Yeah?
Wow.
never voted, which is my kind of guy.
It's like is there even anyone in politics that's that loved that's bipartisan now that you could call a plan? You have to call it like the Rock Plan because everyone loves the Rock.
The
But otherwise,
the Oprah
like,
Winfrey.
yeah, yes, the
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey Plan. Maybe you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like who could you even call it that everybody on both sides loves these days?
Yeah.
Would
Maybe John McCain.
Yeah, that was the only one I was thinking about. Is maybe McCain.
The Maverick himself.
Maybe.
Yeah. But like Republicans didn't like McCain.
Yeah.
The thing is, McCain is equally loved and hated by both sides, I think.
Yeah, there's shared
Yes,
hatred.
yeah. Well, the point. I mean, I think the other thing is that when you're coming off a military victory in a righteous war,
Yeah.
people love the military. You know, it's
Exactly.
like,
Marshall
so,
didn't. He's not a POW.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Marshall had his legs.
That's what America likes.
Yeah. So it was called European Recovery Plan. Called Marshall Plan. It was a lot of his. One, it was a lot of his ideas, and two, he wasn't a political figure in that way.
makes sense.
So let's go back in time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Take me
cool.
there.
After World War I, there's the Treaty of Versailles.
Uh-huh.
You guys heard of it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. This is yes. Go on.
Well, it's like really what bankrupted Germany and left them crippled for years.
Oh, screwed him.
Yeah, screwed them over. And then if we fast forward a little bit, that kind of led to this whole Nazi party thing.
Yeah.
And so,
We made Hitler. Or Europe did.
yeah, I don't know. I know almost nothing about World War I.
Really?
Well, this is. I mean, yeah, I don't know nearly as much as I know about World War II, but this is why I thought it was interesting because I thought it was like a good example of learning from history.
Yeah.
because they were too punitive. They were too, we went too hard against Germany after they lost the war, and that made people resentful, and that led to fascism. You know, and this idea that you should go in and actually help the people, even if you just fought a war against them, a bitter war.
Yeah.
But the idea that then you help the people to recover from that, and that helps everybody, I think is a kind of a beautiful thing. But apparently it started the Cold War. I don't know why.
Well, so-
I thought it was a positive thing. That's why I picked it.
And
What the hell, man?
I actually like the idea of looking at it as a positive thing because you can't look at it like nothing gets looked at that way. Like we did an episode on Grover Cleveland, who everyone calls him a rapist, and he
Whoa, really?
Really?
Yeah, there's this.
I've
He
never
might
called him
have.
that.
He just sounds like a Muppet to me.
Well, you
I
guys,
didn't know he was a
you guys are
rapist.
making jokes about a rapist. Okay,
I'd never heard that before. I don't know Cleveland very well.
he might have raped like this woman before he was president,
Oh,
and he because he had an illegitimate child with her, and people said that it might have been rape. He also married a girl that he pretty much raised.
Oh.
Pretty much Woody Allen.
Oh, Woody Allen.
Yeah.
Chinatown.
It's a completely different.
Sorry, that's a double joke, I guess. I didn't mean it like that.
Chinatown, baby.
Was that because of
the movie, but also then I didn't realize it was also an Asian joke. I thought I meant it like the movie, and then it came out funny.
I've still never finished Chinatown.
Well, then I just gave away something. Don't listen to me. Just watch it.
All right.
Just watch the end of it. Or watch the whole thing.
So, but yeah, I like looking at these guys and just being like, well, what are the positives that we can take from this? Because I don't know, especially as a liberal, we keep on bastardizing history by being like
it's all bad.
It's all bad.
I've never heard of the Marshall Plan being seen as negative at all. I mean, it sounds that sounds like some Russian propaganda to me.
Oh boy, we got a lot of negatives coming up.
Let's get to that.
So okay,
so what? I mean, we did explain kind of what. It was too mean to the Germans, and that made them angry, and they were poor, and
they sectioned off Germany into 4 parts. It was France, Britain, U.S. and Soviet Union had parts.
Wait, this is after World War II. Right?
After World War II,
yes.
And then we were like, well, let's give them back Germany, and then it got sectioned off into West and East Germany.
Yeah.
East being Soviet run, and then West being Germans. But so the Marshall Plan gave them billions of dollars. The first number is $5 billion in aid, just general aid, which equates to, I think it was just like 10 times. So it was $54 billion.
Okay.
Now.
Wow.
And then $17 billion in economic and technical assistance, which is like 184 or something like that.
Wow.
This is to all Europe or just Germany?
To 16 different countries in Europe.
Oh, okay.
The UK had the highest amount that they took. I think Germany, they had a lot of deaths.
All right, fine.
Yeah, and they got bombed. They bombed the shit out of them, so they had to rebuild.
All right.
The UK had so many people die that they just were like opened all the borders to every country that they had invaded.
Former colony.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's called the Windrush.
Oh.
And that's also why Germany has so many Turkish people now, is because...
Man, I should have been doing this podcast with you. I don't know why Jeff is here.
I'm learning. You always have a guest on. You both teach me.
But yeah, the Germans lost so many people that they said... I don't know the tie between Germany and Turkey, but for some reason, that's why there's like a huge amount of Turkish immigration to Germany at post-World War II.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that what the UK did with India too?
Yeah.
Why there's so much Indian people in?
Yes, that's Indian people. That's the
like
Jamaican people, all the island people over there,
Interesting.
Caribbean people.
It's a very like London's super diverse because of this.
Because of all the bombing, they lost all those people.
Yeah, they lost everyone.
It's still super diverse. I was looking it up. It's only like all of England is still like maybe 10 or 20% not white. It's not that diverse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all of England. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's no diversity like America or the Americas in general come in these other in Europe. It just doesn't. It's just crazy to them because they never had it before. You know?
Yeah. Do you see that thing that in 2060 it's going to be mostly Hispanics in the U.S.?
Yeah, I wish the media would get on board and start giving them more Latino shows, more Latino stuff. It's crazy the way we. Sorry, I'm not trying to grandstand. But
here.
I'm serious though. It's like really.
Someone's trying to get in with the industry.
Yeah, right.
No,
start speaking Spanish.
It's silly. I'm from LA, so to me this is not news. This is not a new thing. It's like
Where did we? So the Marshall Plan begins. Oh, so when I say $17 billion in economic and technical assistance, this is where it starts to get a little questionable.
Oh, okay.
Because that really meant we were putting military bases in those places, in those countries, and Stalin. I can't even put this on silent. Stalin was. He was like, well, what they're trying to do is keep all these military bases and these troops in Europe to start a war with us. That's what his mindset was.
Okay.
But the counter argument is that we did offer aid to the USSR as well.
Okay.
So.
Oh, so that's why you're saying the Cold War stuff, because we put all those bases over there.
Yeah. And the USSR didn't take any aid from America at all.
Proud people.
They're proud people. And in fact, they started their own thing called the Molotov Plan, which was their own version of the Marshall Plan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you been to the bases over there? Because you said USO earlier.
In Russia?
In Europe.
I've been. No, I haven't. I've been to Kuwait and Okinawa and Kuwait and Japan are the only places I've been.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but not the.
You trying to get into your USO
I
experience?
was just curious if you. I've done the Europe one, the similar.
I was gonna do Italy, and then I couldn't. It didn't work out, so I didn't end up doing it.
My girlfriend wants to buy property in Italy.
Yeah, they'll pay you apparently money to buy. And in the South, there's a place where they will give you money to move there
Really?
because they're running low on people.
Oh, they're running out of people again?
Yeah.
Europe's always running out of people.
Yeah, strange when they have so many refugees coming over there. It's like,
Yeah.
let those people on the boats drown, but you come over here and buy a place.
Yeah.
You know?
Get your butt over here.
Yeah.
Well, they did have a crazy cough that went through in 2020. So
Yes,
Sure.
Yes. I mean, Italy is one of those countries like Japan where it's a rapidly aging country and they're not, they don't have enough young people, I think.
I mean, I think that's probably going to happen to the U.S. No one's boning anymore.
I'm boning, but I'm pulling out. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Are you going to keep it in one time and make a kid?
The plan is to keep it in at once, and then that's
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah.
Can we be there?
Yeah, sure. Well, no, please, I'm going to live stream it, and
Okay.
you just subscribe.
I'm going to join the Facebook or the Instagram live.
Yeah.
Do you think the viewers?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
going to keep it in this time, I swear.
And then I pull it out. Tune in next week.
When does it stay?
Are you going to have a kid?
What?
Are you going to have a kid?
We're talking about it. Probably sometime in the new year.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
it.
But we haven't. She's not pregnant. I have not kept it in yet. It's we definitely wanted to go with our honeymoon and be able to drink on the honeymoon.
Right.
So now that's over. Now I'm running out of reasons why we have to keep waiting. And
Good.
So I think we're going to start shortly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love people having kids.
I mean, you know,
Good.
It's, people are getting scared because of global warming. Keep making them. Make them up.
so that is the
I'm
thing.
scared.
Let the kids figure it out.
Yeah, I was talking with Teresa about it because she wants to have a kid at some point. And she was like, "What about you?" And I was like, "I never really thought about it. I mean, I'm down to have a kid.
Okay.
But there's a part of me that, like, because of global warming, I'm like, do I want to put a kid into this situation?
No, don't fear it.
I'm pretty freaked out about it, and it's also like knowing that my kid probably is going to be worse off than me, which is a crazy thing to think.
Yeah,
but
well,
also
you're a comedian, and now your kid has to have a practical life.
that maybe they will. Actually, you're right. Maybe they will be better because they'll learn from my mistakes. They'll be like,
Yeah.
I don't want to live this shitty way. But
I can't just find a woman that's more successful than me.
that is the key. But
you're just preaching to the choir, baby.
Right.
But I do think that my hope is that even with climate change and the way the world is looking right now, I don't know. There's still it's still good to be alive. It's better than not being alive. I don't know. There's good. I still find a lot of joy in life. So I think hopefully I will continue to.
Yeah, just
They'll
put
be
on,
fine.
just wear some shorts, get a tank top.
Yeah, it's going to be warm with some rising seas, but they'll have sweet spaghetti
Yeah.
and a nice coffee, baby.
I want some hot dogs and I'm in.
Yeah, toss some hot dogs. The world's nice.
So the main intention, obviously, is shore up European industrial output. Here are the caveats to the Marshall Plan: is that the Marshall Plan. I mean, it's not. You don't just give them money. Obviously, that's not really how this all works out. You have to give them like actual goods to like feed their people and whatnot. And so all of those goods were actually from American companies. So the money from the Marshall Plan
Going
actually
back into the States.
went back into the States. So it really never went to Europe.
Brilliant.
So it went from the taxpayer to the government to the biggest corporations that existed in that time.
Oh, I bet he had stock in them too. Genius.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's or maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's a way to say everyone wins. It's like capitalism wins and the people win. I mean, they needed those goods. It's not like we're sending them. I don't know if we're sending them like poison, then fuck that. Or that that old Nestle thing where we're sending them like formula when they can just get free titty milk. That's one thing. But if they need these things anyway, it seems like a win-win both
that
sides
actually
to
does,
me,
Like I was listening to this Lib podcast, this guy from Australia. Good podcast. I'm not going to plug it because I mean I don't need competitors.
That's right.
But he was. This is where all like the criticism towards the Marshall Plan came from. It's like his idea was just like the U.S. was actually just feeding itself the whole time. But like, what are we just going to buy like Nikes from like China and then send them over or whatever? Like it's.
Well,
you got it.
That's not China. China at this point is not making Nikes. They're making starvation. Is what they're making. So it's not. I think you're a little ahead of yourself. But yeah, I do. I don't. Did it? I thought it helped Europe a lot.
It did. It got a little bit of a. It was more like of a good nudge in the right direction. But it also made the U.S. The superpower that it is.
Genius.
Sure.
Yeah. Do it again.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Well, I mean, that's kind of why I bring this up because I think it's such a good way of doing things. I don't know why, and maybe I'm jumping the gun, why there wasn't a Marshall Plan after the USSR collapsed for Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Why hasn't Israel Marshall planned the Palestinian territories? Like to me, it seems to me. And I guess we're going to learn more about it. We don't have that much time, but if it
plenty of time, baby. 19 minutes and 27 seconds.
Plenty of time.
I'm just saying, it seems to me if it was such a success, like why not repeat this in other places? And it just seems like everyone wins, you know.
We're kind of doing it with Ukraine, I think.
Well, that's what they were saying that like they should do this with Ukraine in terms of like we should give them more money. Mm-hmm. But I think with Ukraine. You're pretty much starting the war, like making it a U.S. versus Russia thing, which like it kind of already is.
Yeah. Well, yes, it's a proxy war, except one side's not proxy at all. It's straight up Russia. But you know what? Also, though, there is, and maybe this is the start of the thing. There is that idea that the southern developing world becomes indebted when if you loan them money. See, are these loans or are they just giving the money? Because there's a way that like the World Bank and the IMF starts loaning money to like southern countries, and then they're like, well, you owe us all this money, and then they're beholden to their policies. Mm-hmm. And I don't. Were the strings attached with the Marshall Plan or no?
There were some strings attached, but I don't know if it was like I don't understand if it was a loan or an actual gift. What I do know is that so all of the goods were U.S. goods. And another part of the Marshall Plan, a stipulation which is one of the reasons why Stalin didn't want to fall into this, was that you had to set aside money for yourself, but that money was supposed to be allocated for goods purchased by the U.S.
So there's already sending good. They're already using some of the money as is that the way these goods got over there?
No,
is this a different thing? There's two things. So there's two different ways they're making all this money off the plan.
Yes.
Oh.
So the U.S. economy is really
cooking.
Yeah.
Baby.
I mean, I would like to know: are these quality goods? I mean, are these?
I'm sure
nice
that they
goods?
were. I think
you know
they
what
were.
I mean? Are they shitty goods? Or are they like nice stuff?
Yeah,
over
good
there,
leather shoes.
Yeah,
I got to be honest. Who cares? We're getting a taste.
Yeah, we're just sending them like sweaters from H&M.
You got to buy all of our H&M sweaters from last season.
Yeah, last year, like the jerseys of the losers.
That's funny.
All of our Eagle shirts.
Yeah, and then I think it also created a fake economic boom, or they call it a fake economic boom because it made it look like the U.S. economy was going crazy, but it wasn't a natural thing. It was because the U.S. had. I mean, I guess it was.
What's the difference? It's booming.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You know what I mean? It's like, was there a crash after the Marshall Plan stopped? I don't think so.
No.
Oh, they're saying it was like unnatural or something?
Yeah, but there's no natural. This idea that like the markets just work on their own naturally, that never happens, never have, never will. There's always government involved.
Yeah,
so I don't know if that's what they're saying, but to me that's not necessarily.
And look, this is the criticism some Australian that I have no respect for. So
good. All right.
He was saying unnatural stuff. It's unnatural. Who cares?
He does have a great podcast about the Cold War, but other than that, no respect.
Well, I mean, I guess the one way you'd say it's not natural is that when if you're pitting capitalism, which is supposed to be market forces, versus communism, which is state orchestrated economy, what you're saying is even the capitalist side is still doing state orchestrated economy, which I think is fine. To me, that's the truth.
Yeah.
It's always somewhat state manipulated, no matter what.
Yeah, and the way that they were, I guess the criticism is that we, like, if we were alive at that point, we paid these companies to get rich. Because it's tax dollars coming from us to the government.
Maybe I get a job at one of these companies being like a janitor or something. That's cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Then
and
it
the
evens
taxes
out.
they pay you go right back into your boss.
Well, I would say this is the time before the huge wage gap, when like the head of the company is not making that much more than the other people in the company. So probably, I mean, I don't know this, but this is the creation of this great middle class is happening right now. So it actually did go back to the people at that point. You know what I mean? Like this, I think we're applying the problems of today to then. This is when the strong middle class is created in America.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Never thought about that.
Whoa, you just hit a dinger.
Yeah. That's probably the first smart thing a guest has said on this podcast. Unfortunately, probably the last.
Yeah, based off the next guest.
Yeah. We got Tim McLaughlin coming in 15 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, and the reason why, I mean, it's, you've got the two superpowers. You've got the military of, like, in place in Europe, plus like right next to the USSR. Like, so a lot of people are like, this is the start of the Cold War, because it's just everyone thought that with all of these countries in the meantime, with like being in shambles, they had to get help from somewhere. It was either the US or it was the USSR.
Yeah.
And that's where like the world ended up getting torn apart.
Sure.
So,
and I do think there's also like this debate now, which why does America have these bases all over the world and other sovereign nations, which I think now, or not now, even then is questionable. But if you want to, I think after 2 world wars, maybe time to stop having Germany have its own army. Let's give them a break from having a military for a while.
Who is that? That's Norm.
He
McDonald. He had,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like we can't keep letting them have these wars.
Yeah. They went to the war with the world.
Yeah.
And then they did it again.
Yeah. I mean, so and if Germany is the border is where the Iron Curtain comes down, is the border with the USSR.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, which side is which? Like, is maybe Russia's going to roll on? I mean, because Russia did push its borders like. That's the other thing is that, like, all right, so all these countries in Western Europe, and maybe I'm a little biased towards Western Europe. Mm-hmm. I will say that. Okay. But all these countries in Western Europe remain autonomous countries, whereas the USSR comes through and takes over Eastern Europe. Like, straight up does what the fear that Russia supposedly has, they literally did.
Yeah.
So I think they're projecting a little bit and feeling, you know what I mean? Like saying like, oh, I hope they don't do this to us, because they're doing it already to these countries.
Sure, yeah.
So
I yesterday was looking at a map of Poland and how it's changed.
Oh, it goes crazy.
It goes nuts.
I think they have no natural borders, and that's why they keep getting rolled on by one side and the other side.
Yeah.
And the other side.
Oh,
well, because I was my girlfriend's Polish, full Polish, and then I was like looking at her last name and her like mom's last name. And I was like, oh, where's this name from? And it's now in what's next to Poland?
I don't know. Was it Russia?
Belarus?
Belarus. Yes. So now her last name is native to a city in Belarus.
What city?
I want to say it starts with an L, like Lima, not Lima, because that's not.
I'm from my part of my family's from there. I've been there.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
Belarus?
Yeah. I've been
Oh.
Yeah.
Putin's puppet.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what they call Louis Katz.
Oh, here comes Putin's puppet.
This has been a very anti-Putin. I think this whole thing has been very pro the West. My side, I feel like. I think I'm no longer known as Putin. I'm trying to break the rumors.
Yeah.
I'm no puppet of Putin.
People aren't talking.
But yeah, and so Poland was like, it's a pretty big space.
Yeah.
And then if you go like from like the 1700s to now, there's like a moment. I saw a map where like it like for twice it disappears.
Yeah.
It stops being Poland and starts being, and it's a completely different country's territory. So like disappears, and then now it's shifted west by hundreds of miles.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Still a good size.
Pretty good size.
I think they're becoming one of our #1 arms buyers. Poland's
really?
stocking up.
Because they're right there. And
Ukraine freaked them out. They've been buying tons of our stuff.
Wow.
We're making some good cheddar.
again, we just can't stop winning.
Yeah.
Wow. But that's one of the things I think about when people talk about actually the like, should you have kids? The world's in such a mess right now. I mean, like, you think this is the end of the world? Like, try living in Eastern Europe in the 40s. That is the end. Like, you know what I mean? Because when I visit I visit the country. I visit Belarus and Poland.
How are they doing?
Well, this is years ago, and so I haven't checked in with them lately.
No, okay.
But you know, the army comes in one way, then it comes back the other way. Then they the war just keeps going through their country back and forth through all those years, and so many people died, and it's just and somehow people made it through that. You know what I mean? Like somehow people survive. I mean, granted, climate change is a global level catastrophe, but still, people will survive. It's just going to be shitty.
You know, you watch this Life on Our Planet thing. It made me feel much better about climate change.
Well, it's just like we'll die and the planet will be fine. It's really what it is.
And then the planet will be fine, and then in a million years, something will come back and replace us, and there'll be another like I don't know. Oh yeah.
I don't think we're going anywhere.
I don't know.
I think we're like cockroaches, man. We're
You
hard
think
to kill.
humans are like cockroaches?
Oh, we're hard to kill.
I think, yeah, but it's like a shitty life. It's like no sun, like not beautiful days, living underground, living indoors.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a good life. We're not going anywhere, but it's not going to be
Tulum.
nearly as fun. You know?
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, it's not gonna be Tulum.
No, the opposite.
Yeah, infinity pools. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Not happening.
we got
They just
PS5.
go deeper into the ground instead of like infinity into the center of the
Yeah.
earth. That's all it is.
We'll just be
That's it.
gaming for thousands of years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah.
The whole world will be an infinity pool. Actually,
Yes.
It's going to be
big
sick.
infinity pool.
yeah. But it did make me feel better because there's everything dies, everything comes back, and I was like, oh, that's kind of sweet.
Yeah.
That is nice. I just think I don't know, man. I think there's a reason we haven't. I mean, I guess now there are aliens supposedly, but it's like this is the one place that's like livable within millions and billions of miles. And we're fucking it up. It's
Yeah.
pretty scary, you know?
There was this thing that they were. I saw this thing about like something on going to Saturn, and they like bombed it because it was going to go to like one of Saturn's moons.
Oh,
And
Titan?
Was that
I think it's always Titan.
Why do they care? Why would they bomb it?
because they didn't want like the germs of the astronauts on there to like.
There's no astronauts on something going to Saturn.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
The germs from them touching it here
Yeah,
to land on there?
to land on there and then like killing whatever potential ecosystem it might have.
Oh.
Wow, that's crazy. Why?
Yeah.
What kind of? Well, that's crazy. That they're thinking there's an ecosystem that far from the sun.
Well, if it does exist, the question is if it does exist, it's still very young and fragile.
Wow.
So
Oh, yeah.
it would be like very, like a cough could kill whatever the hell
Wow.
is over there.
Cool.
Yeah, because that's the one they think is like what? Water's frozen underneath it? It's all
Yeah,
big old
yeah.
ice, big old
It's on
ball
one of
ice.
Saturn's moons or some shit
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Titan.
So far, it's so far from the sun. I can't. It's hard to.
I don't
There's a
know.
little water under that ice, they say.
Yeah,
We'll be there. Your grandkids will be there.
yeah.
Just you wait.
Did you know that the U.S. Had at the beginning of World War II had the 19th biggest military at the time?
Wow.
So we weren't even like
We were wimps.
190,000 people. 190,000 people enlisted at like I think in like the early 40s.
Wow.
Or maybe the late 30s. And then George Marshall was actually the guy that really like boomed it up and went to like 7 million people.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, I think there was a draft and shit.
Yeah. Well, also, like, I mean, I know I've been very anti-Russia on this, but the truth is that Russia kind of we like to think that we won the war and we stepped in there and helped us. Like, Russia was doing a lot. They sacrificed a lot, and they kept fighting Hitler, and it was really, I mean, they just such a huge sacrifice. So thanks, Russians. I appreciate it.
Yeah, the
Just
Russian
in case you
people.
guys win.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Pro
Just in case it-
Putin again.
Yeah.
But this is
It just
I'm the puppet. But this is a crazy thing. So I was doing some gigs. I was doing a Baltic tour, as one is want to do
A
when
Baltic
their
tour.
career is going nowhere. Why not do a Baltic tour
Yeah.
many years ago? and it ended in Finland. And before all this war stuff, you could take a train right to St. Petersburg. So I decided in between gigs to go to St. Petersburg.
How long is that train?
Very, very short. This is why Finland is freaked out, because they are right there.
Really?
They're right there. They're right on the border. So I go there. I get to St. Petersburg. Never been to Russia before. I get out. You know, I grew up in the 80s. So I get out. There's like tanks going through the streets. Everyone's in military uniforms. I'm like, oh, wow. It's just like I learned about it in the 80s. It's just like that shit. And I didn't know it, but it was the 50th anniversary of them winning World War II. And no, it wasn't just that. It was their Veterans Day, which is their Veterans Day. This is how they commemorate it. We have a barbecue, but what they do is they have a parade marked down the street, and anyone who had a relative who fought in it or died in it holds a picture of them. It starts in the morning. It goes all day. It doesn't stop. It's beautiful. And you just see people, they're holding up these pictures, and basically those people would not be there if it wasn't for those people in those pictures.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. And you get to see it happening. And it was like, wow, this is like, it was kind of mind-blowing. It was
That's
just,
cool.
yeah, it was really cool.
25 million.
I'd be in a parade.
Yeah.
Oh, you would?
Mm-hmm. Yep, with my grandpa.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your grandpa fought in the war?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Tank guy.
Whoa.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Did he make it?
Yeah, he made it.
Oh, okay.
How old? How old was he? Or is he alive?
No, he's gone now.
But how old would he have been?
Shoot, I don't know.
Pretty old, right?
Pretty old.
Yeah.
He'd probably still be gone now.
Yeah.
He still would have been wrapped
Oh,
by
really?
time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a Sherman grandpa.
That's wow.
I have no one story.
Yeah.
It was they wanted him to go check to make sure bodies were dead or something. Some commander guy
Uh-huh.
was like, go check out this. And he said, no.
Wow. No.
That's a lot less of a story than I thought it was
That's
gonna
right. I got one story. It's him not doing his job.
be. Yeah.
The Sheen way.
The
if
Sheen
you
way,
will.
yeah. Yeah. Barely wanting to put in effort.
That's right. That's right. We do the bare
Where were the
minimum.
Katzes?
Where in the World War II?
Yeah.
Surviving. I mean, I don't know. But, no. Let me think. My grandpa. It's just like the generation is not off. My grandpa is in like elementary school when and he's like 95 now, and he was in elementary. That's what I'm saying. Like, how old was your grandpa? My grandpa's 95, still alive. He was in elementary school in Los Angeles when Pearl Harbor hits. And the interesting thing is he lived in Boyle Heights, which then is like a third Jewish, a third Latino, and a third Japanese American.
Oh, wow.
And so he remembers they bombed Pearl Harbor. He remembers all the Japanese kids kind of huddled together, like, what the fuck is going to happen?
Yeah.
And of course, shitty things happened.
Yeah.
So he was
Your
young.
grandpa's giving them wedgies and stuff.
Yeah, it's the Jewish kids that are picking on him.
Always bullying the Japanese.
Yeah, sure. So he's too young to fight. And then I think on the other side, I believe on the Katz side, my grandpa, I believe he fought in the Korean War. So everyone thinks a little too young for them to be in
Got it.
World War II.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Korean War. We sent troops there?
Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
MASH is all about. That's what gave us MASH.
Because I was.
We thought the Chinese hopped up on cocaine.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that right? And they
don't
like
know.
hop them up on cocaine.
I don't know. I don't know that much about the Korean War except for that's what MASH was about.
Oh yeah, that was like one of their tactics. They like
I know a little bit about it because we did an episode on Kim Jong Il, and it was just like because I that was also a proxy war.
Yeah, that's like that's the first Cold War like skirmish, right? It's happening and it happens very soon after. I don't understand Korean War, so it's like there's like a civil war, and then Russia and the U.S. jump in on either side, right?
I think the U.S. takes over the south, and then Russia takes over the north, and then the skirmish, and then they
There wasn't already a civil war going on?
they were. I think they were. Yeah, there was a civil war, and the North was led by communists, and then the South was democratic.
Yeah, it's like Vietnam.
It was already. It was very similar to
yeah.
Vietnam, and then I think Russia was funding the North Koreans.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they said China was sending in troops to also fight, and then America was helping the Koreans.
But I wonder how that's viewed in like because we America was so shitty in Vietnam. I think we're viewed as like in South Korea is like, hey, thanks. I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how
Yeah.
it's viewed over there.
I mean, why do you think
curious.
they keep sending us cool movies?
I know. We appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Parasite was a thank you letter.
Yeah. An anti-capitalist thank you letter.
Yeah. Here's Old Boy.
yeah, we're like,
You're one.
this
I mean,
rules.
yeah, they keep on sending us revenge shit, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you know this? Kim Jong-il, born in Russia.
Wow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the other story is
Is
that
he Russian then? Is he Korean? Because there's Russians who look Asian, who look Korean, kind
no,
of. you know?
he is Korean. His
Okay.
dad was was the guy that started. His dad started the state of North Korea.
We're only 3 generations from
We're only
that?
three
That's
generations.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
His dad started it, and his dad was a general or like leading an army that was fighting a battle in Russia at the time.
Wow. That's
So
nuts.
yeah,
Did you read about, he just, Un just met with Putin, and, he has no plane. He takes a train that goes very slow. This shit blew my mind.
what? Kim Jong-un takes
an
train?
armored train. It's armored, so it's super heavy. It goes super slow. It takes him days to go there, and that's how he travels.
Wow.
It's like, wow, this is not.
You don't trust the air.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that or if they don't have planes.
I don't
or,
think
like,
they
what
have.
the deal
Yeah,
is.
I don't think they have flights that go in and out.
No, I think they got planes, right?
Who's going there? Who's visiting North Korea?
Well, I mean, you can't go in.
Can can Chinese and Russian people go there?
Yeah. Chinese can.
Really?
Yeah.
You sure?
China's gotten on good terms in North Korea.
Huh? Okay. All right.
Do the people vacation there?
I don't know. That I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I do know that there's this little strip between North Korea and South Korea that's like a no man's land.
DMZ.
Yeah, the DMZ is like the best because no humans go there, and it's 2 miles wide. It's got like the most flourishing forest. And,
No way.
Yeah, it's
Man,
beautiful.
Humans suck.
I know, we sure do. That's been the Marshall Plan.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. I feel like I'm the only one that learned anything.
I mean, I learned a lot, and first of all, I didn't know Louis was this smart.
You didn't know that?
No, I mean not about history. We've had very fun conversations, but I didn't know it was history based.
I know all kinds of shit, man.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone check out Louis' special on YouTube. Also, for me, I got a Don't Tell dropping. Technically, it's already out by the time they've heard this. So go on YouTube, like that, and then subscribe to me because the truth is, this podcast isn't going on forever. You'll find out more about that in next week's episode.
Wow.
Tune in.
Can I plug some dates too?
Yeah.
I'll be
this will be out on Tuesday. So
Okay, I'll be in Austin at the Creek in the Cave in the middle of December.
Whoa.
And in the middle of January, I'll be in Sacramento Punchline and also at the Irvine Improv. So check out those dates on my website, louiskatz.com.
hell yeah, man! I can't believe we're losing you to LA.
I'm going to be back and forth.
I'm gonna miss.
Back and forth. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm gonna miss having you as a podcast guest like once a year.
I thought this was. How is this compared to other episodes? Is this one of the
This
best?
is one of the better ones because you actually have input on history, and it was funny, and Jeff was not as involved. So
What the hell?
Jeff was bringing it. I thought Jeff was bringing it.
yeah, but yeah, thanks for coming on, Jeff.
I'm always at New York, Jeffrey.
Plug the podcast too, you dumbass.
What, my podcast?
Yeah,
Oh, and check out Tough Questions, the podcast.
yeah. And you know where I'm at. Yeah. Thank you all. Like, subscribe, I guess. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Goodbye.